YouTube, making a little owner's review of my XSR900. It's a 2023 XSR. I bought this bike about a year ago. It was slightly used. My first powerful bike. Before this I had a Moto Guzzi. So this is, you know, double the power, definitely double the fun. It's an awesome bike. But yeah, this is kind of like a 1 year review. I put, I think, 4,000 on it. I rode a lot here, just this windy road to Squamish and back. That's pretty much all I do on it. Commuted a few times to work, but it's more of my weekend rider. And that's pretty much what my review is going to be of having an XSR as a weekend bike. Just something to go get your coffee in. But this bike, owning it for the year, it, you know, taught me a lot on riding at faster paces, cornering better, and just getting used to the power and everything. It's a bike that can teach you a lot. Can't teach you much things at slower speeds just because it doesn't like to go slow. It's a bike that likes to go pretty fast, but it does teach you a lot on body positioning, on, you know, trailing your brakes into corners, just like managing your wrist. You know, once you're in mode 1 on this bike, full power mode, it's pretty powerful. You know, you gotta be careful in the turns. You don't want to give it a fistful of throttle, even though this bike does have a bunch of techs that would keep you pretty safe if you did make a mistake like that. But just the way this bike hits you with the torque, it's pretty quick right off the craps the throttle. The XSR has been a super reliable bike for me. I mean, it's a new bike, it's a Yamaha. They're all pretty reliable. Makes you a big Yamaha fan owning this bike. That's the interval, the valve train interval is huge. It's super high. Like, you don't have to worry about doing the valve check at all when you own this bike. It's probably going to be the third or fourth owner that's going to have to consider doing that if you're not one of those guys that keeps his bike forever. Like, I thought I would keep this bike forever, but you do get kind of bored of everything. So not that this bike's a boring bike, but you just want to try something new. I want to try something new. Maybe this is the perfect bike for you, a bike you want to keep forever. I think the looks on this bike is really what sold me. I like the MT-09 a lot, but this bike just looks so cool. How it has that retro style to it, but it looks new. It's really sweet. It does get quite a bit of attention sometimes. Like, it's not as much as like my Moto Guzzi did. A lot of people liked that bike because it looked super old. It was a racer. But this bike does have a unique look to it. You know, you bring it to work, everyone checks it out kind of thing. It's not like the typical crotch rocket. You guys telling me to turn around. Let's check some GPS up here. Yeah, it doesn't have that classic crotch rocket look. It doesn't even look like a regular naked bike. It just looks pretty unique for what it is. And I think the Z900, the Kawasaki Z900, that's a sweet bike too. I really like that it's got the 4-cylinder. Heard the power on those are pretty great. But it just, I don't know, it doesn't look as cool as this bike for me. It does look older. But you would trick somebody that's an old bike. XSR900. This bike, no one really knows what it is. It's kind of just like futuristic, like cyberpunk looking almost, but retro. It's a cool looking bike. You do stare at it for a while. So like when you first get it, you know, you'll have a beer in your garage and just stare at the bike. Cops up there or big traffic jam. The CP3 engine on this bike is another thing that owning this bike, it's all about the CP3. The triple cylinder CP3 it's a game changer, really. Never expected for me to love a triple as much as I do. I always thought maybe a 4-cylinder would be more fun just because they scream, but man, the triple is really perfect. Such a perfect setup. Shit. So back to it. The CP3. Amazing engine. I'm a big 2-stroke guy. I love 2-stroke race bikes. I've owned a few. Fan, but man, this really makes you a fan of a 4-stroke. It's, you know, really good power on it, very smooth. It's almost like that electric vehicle feel. It just, you know, accelerates effortlessly. It's beautiful. You know, there's no waiting for the power band. There's no boost lag kind of feel. It just eats as soon as you crack it. It's awesome. I really enjoy that part of it. But, you know, I used to love boost lag in cars. I used to love the power band hitting, but now I really appreciate good, naturally aspirated feel of an engine. Something that responds, feels like your wrist is really turning the power. It's great on this bike. Really connects you. But one thing that is really bad on this bike, quite terrible, is the factory tune. I know everybody talks about how bad this tune is, but man, the tune was atrocious. Stock. I'd say borderline dangerous how bad the tune was. Second gear was no balls whatsoever. You'd crack it, you'd be leaning forward, crack the throttle, it wouldn't go anywhere. It was really bad. And then you'd relax a little bit, then all of a sudden it hits you hard, the power. There was a huge dead spot in the range just in second. You'd kick it into third gear, again, it would just thrust you like crazy. It was inconsistent. Really inconsistent, the power band. But after getting a tune, I went with 2-wheel dyno works. I recommend everybody going with 2-wheel dyno works. That guy, if you watch his videos, you just know he knows his stuff. Like, he's dead serious about tuning. Like, it's his life. And for me here in BC at least, it's really good tune after you get it. You know, when I was on the stock tune, I was always riding in mode 2. I wasn't too used to the power yet on it. Beautiful car. But you know, once you get a little used to it, then you put this thing in mode 1 with the tune, like it's a whole new bike. It gave me butterflies for another few weeks after doing that, getting used to mode 1. It was great. But like, speaking of butterflies in your stomach, when you first get this bike and you're not used to powerful bikes, this bike is scary. It kind of blows your mind, like, I bought such a fast bike. Like, in the grand scheme of things, this bike isn't as fast as a lot of bikes are, but man, is it ever quick when you're not used to it. Like, it just gives you that rush. It makes you feel like your balls go into your stomach feeling, and it's, you know, very addictive. That's the rush I love, is the acceleration. That's why I go deep into my cars, modifying them, making them fast. And you know, bikes is just the next level from that. If you want to rush, it's amazing. It's really amazing. Yeah, this bike handles great. It's not like an SP model from Yamaha. I wish this did have the, I don't know what you call it, the magnetic ride, like the electronic suspension. It's great suspension, but when you're just going slow, like coming to a stop, you do feel the little pogo stickness to it. Maybe I just got to dial in the dampers a bit better, but it's definitely not comparable to an SP model. Those bikes feel completely different when you're on them. It's good though. I wouldn't, you know, spend the extra money on an SP if this bike's in my price point and that bike's not. Like, I would just get this bike. That's why I did get this bike. It comes with great tech. Like, besides that, the 6-axis INU, amazing. Quick shifter on this bike just spoils you like crazy. It doesn't make you want to ride anything else. Like, it's fantastic tech. Fantastic technology. The up and down quick shifting, like, wow, it makes you so lazy as a rider. But also way faster. Like, it's great. It's really awesome. It does make you miss shifting through the gears, but like, why would you when you've got a quick shifter? You just give it a boot and you keep going. It's awesome. It sounds great too. It has a fantastic noise to it when you're shifting through the gears mid-throttle. Oh, the GPS is freaking out. Gonna do a little coffee break here and I'll get back to the bike review. We're back from our coffee break. Talked to somebody with BMW R1300S, I believe it was called. Pretty cool bike. He loved my bike, but man, that thing's like 3 times the price of this bike. Love one of those down the road, but I like what I got here. You don't need more than this. Just want more. we were talking about some of the tech on this bike before a coffee break here, and the 6-axis INU is unreal. If you learn how it works, what it does, how it can keep you in control of the bike, or the bike keeps you in control, it's pretty awesome tech. It's, you know, pretty game changing. Makes you want to own bikes that only have this technology. You know, it's saved my bacon maybe once. Like, I felt the bike slip a little bit, but man, it really just takes control, chills out the whole situation, and just gets you back to riding how you were. You know, if you've got all the nannies on max, the lift control really helps you too. If you're trying to launch it in first, second gear, lifts up a little bit, but it doesn't let you loop it. I've never just gone full throttle right off a launch. You know, you always gotta feather it a little bit, but I really feel like it would take control. It wouldn't let you loop out. Such a smart bike with all the tech. For comfort on this bike, it's not bad because it's a naked bike. It's a little upright, but the seat does kind of suck if you do an hour plus ride. And like, it's, everyone knows these seats aren't the best, but you know, you don't have to go buy a different seat. You can just enjoy the bike kind of how it is. It's not like that bad. Like, yeah, your butt hurts a little bit, but after a year of going through it, you do get a lot more used to the pain. But the seat does hold you well if you are flying through the twisties or doing big pulls on the highway. It's a well-designed seat. It's just kind of digs in on the edges. I used to race my Civic in back in the day, but man, is it ever stupid to go fast through here. So many hidden driveways, buses, bicycles. This is kind of where you just cruise along. The amount of times you'll get cut off by someone pulling out of their driveway is insane, but you know what, you just gotta let them do their thing. Yeah, it's not easy. If I was in their shoes, man, I don't know how you'd pull out of these driveways. Here, let's give a little example of lift control here. Unreal. Nice Porsche. Good AI footage of me ripping through here. That quick shifter. Also, to do with comfort, for me, I've got, my wrist always goes numb. I think I got poor circulation in it. I think it was a longboarding accident back in the day. It screwed up my arm. But this bike does have little tingles to it all the time. The vibrations are, like, it's smooth, but it does vibrate a little bit, and that really translates into your arm if you do have arm numbing problems like I do. Like I do, you know, hold it like a baby's arm just with my fingertips, straddle the tank. I don't know, maybe it's just me or my technique. I feel like those vibrations do really kill me, but you do have cruise control, which is a lifesaver, and it works so well on this bike. Easy to activate, super easy to deactivate. You just twist forward to deactivate. It's like magic. Works very well. It's definitely a lifesaver when you're doing a little cruise, and you know, it keeps you going a little slower if you're using cruise control. Sound of this bike, I got the Leo Vince exhaust on it. It's a little loud if you're leaning to the right, just because the exhaust dumps right to the right. But I did get used to it, or I lost my hearing in my right ear a bit, and now I'm used to it. It sounds amazing. And with the tune, the factory tune would have some nice pops and bangs to it when you do an exhaust. It also had an amazing, like almost like a sonic boom sound when you let off the throttle. It would be more from the intake side, but it just sounded very cool. You lose a bit of that cool sound when you do the tune, but Two Wheel Dynaworks doesn't do pops and bangs at all. He's strict about making it into a performance bike, and he tells you to delete the air injection pump. But if you don't, you do get some cool pops here and there. Nothing crazy, but more if you let off on the high like RPM. It does sound very cool. It kind of like pops a little bit. It doesn't bang, but just little pops here and there. Beautiful sounds from it. It almost screams on the top end like a 4-cylinder does. But it being a triple just sounds a little bit different. Very good. Can't complain from the sound. I don't know, maybe one thing I would change on this bike is the grips. The grips are great, but you can get some of those comfort grips. I think the Domino, they make some comfort grips. They're a little bit thicker. I think that would really cut the vibrations out of this bike that translates into your hands. I might have to try doing that. I think another thing that you gotta do is tank grips, but I think that's just a thing you should do on every bike. And if you've never had tank grips before, get some. I got some clear ones on here because I love the paint. But does it ever make you feel like one with the bike? Tires are great. The tires that come with the bike, they could be better. The rear tire could be a bit taller, but I know if you go for a taller tire, it will handle better, but you gotta mess around with the front, because then the front's too low, the back's too high. But I really think it's worth it if you do burn through a set of tires, if you rip this bike long enough that you get to buy new tires for it. Yeah, I would do the taller tire in the back. It will just lean way better than it does now. It's really a bike that, at first you want to do everything to it. I've told myself, like, it's not worth it anymore. I've gone so deep into other bikes, modifying them. I just did the tune, exhaust, airbox mod on this, which is super easy. That's all it needs. Don't keep messing with it. I think one thing I noticed that isn't that good on the bike, it is good, but it isn't that good, are the brakes. The brakes they bite pretty well, but they do have a bit of a mushy feel to it. Then again, these lines, the brake lines are just rubber all the way. Like, right from here is like rubber from the lever. It's just rubber hoses going underneath the seat to the whole ABS unit. Then it goes all the way to the front, and it's just rubber. The rubber doesn't feel good. No one likes the rubber. I mean, if you were serious about this bike, wanting to track it, I don't know how it is on the MT-09 SP, but I imagine it's quite similar to this. But yeah, you want to upgrade those brake lines if you want to get a bit of feel. The brakes feel good, like they bite, but it's not as precision as the throttle and the handling is on this bike. fuel mileage on this bike, yeah, kind of sucks because all you want to do is rip it. The power is great, fantastic, very satisfying going through the gears. You know, I've got the pleasure of riding R1M when I was first starting out riding bikes. That really spoils you how fast it is. But this bike is, you know, feels just as fast, but way more satisfying because you can go through the gears, and it's really what it is all about. Like, if something's too fast, you can't get the satisfaction out of it going through the gears. But this thing's like in that perfect spot where you can ring it out the whole time, banging through the gears, and then, you know, 200 comes and just start slowing down. You don't want to go to jail just because you're ripping your bike. But yeah, it does make you go a bit fast. It does, you know, make other drivers on the road annoying because they're going so slow, but really you're just going way too fast. And it really teaches you self-control on this bike. It's a hooligan machine. It wants to wheelie, it wants to go fast. On slower roads like this, it's not that much fun because you're not using any of the power. You're just babying the throttle and just cruising along with it. My Moto Guzzi was half the power. It was way more fun through here because you could go as fast as you possibly could in the straightaways, and that's what this bike doesn't do, is slow. It does not like to go slow, which is understandable because it's a fast bike. But if you're, beautiful R8, you're one of those guys that like to cruise around your neighborhood every other day, it's not too much fun on this kind of bike. That's why I really want a second bike like a DRZ 400. Something that satisfies you at the lower speeds. I like this, the higher speeds really well. One thing that does upset me on this bike once in a while is the quick shifter glitches out. I think it's user error, but it happens, you know, obviously it doesn't happen. It happens in the worst moment, but it's really annoying. You'll be going first to second and you'll just hit neutral. And then to get out of neutral, you know, you want clutching, go down or up, but it just grinds like crazy. Grinds or clunks, bucks no matter what, and you can't make it go smooth into the next gear. It's really frustrating when it happens because it works so well the other times. So I don't get it. Maybe it's a user error. Maybe I need to adjust my clutch. The clutch cable, I've never done that before. It does feel fine when I mess around with the clutch lever, but it just does glitch out once in a while. But I mean, that's okay. It's, you know, if you don't want to glitch out, I can just grab the clutch and shift like a normal bike. But it's not what it's about on this thing. It's what you're using all that tech. That's where the screen goes. Yeah, it's great. Not too much to talk about it. It tells you what you need to know. I love it. I think it looks way better than, like, I love analog gauges, but this is pretty cool. The shifter works great most of the time. Look, I'm just cruising here. Fourth, down, third, second, first. Like, you can't do that on just any bike. That's fantastic. So easy. I don't know if it's bad for the bike doing it that slow, but it does it so easy. I don't think it is bad for it. One thing I did need to add on this bike is a stabilizer. A steering damper or stabilizer, whatever you want to call it. I found it like that had to be a must to add it. When you're on this bike and you're doing a pull, the steering does do one of these. Like, I don't know if it's really a speed wobble, but it does start to get a little wobbly. It does feel like it's going straight as an arrow, but it does scare you when you do that. But once I put the steering stabilizer on it, and it was just a cheap one, you can get one of those carbon fiber AliExpress ones, but it works great. It's, you know, I've got it quite light on. They're actually really light. You barely notice it when you're going slow, but those wobbles are almost gone. Like, I don't really remember getting those wobbles anymore. It's great. Really recommended. That pretty much wraps up my kind of review, rant about the bike, just chit-chatting about it. I love this bike. I recommend everyone getting one. If you want one of these bikes, you really should get one. You'll love it. It's a great stepping stone if you want to improve your skills, learn more about riding fast. Fantastic bike for that. Great if you just like riding. It's good. It's a starter bike. Yeah, I don't know. You should learn on something else first, but you could probably hop onto one of these pretty quick in your riding career, journey, whatever you want to call it. They'll surprise you with the power, but you can tone it down with some modes. If you've got, you know, a little respect for the bike and yourself, yeah, you could totally start on one of these bikes, but it's a lot faster than you think, that's for sure. Like, fast ain't always cool. It's about learning about riding. That's why I ride, because it's a great thing to practice, learn. You learn about yourself riding. Got those scares me driving through the city. Don't usually go through the city. Yeah, that wraps things up. Buy it. You'll love it.